Dear Twin Flame souls out there, welcome to the Twin Flame Awakening Journey podcast, and today's on episode 188. Oh, what a surprise! 88 for our beautiful upcoming Lionsgate. In today's episode, I am going to walk you through and sharing some of my own story from Twin Flames and how does the Lionsgate is connected to the Twin Flame journey. I'm here to tell you that everything that I share are from my own experience and also that changed for me. Lionsgate, which happens on this year again, 8th of August, 8/8, and 2026 comes together as 8, 2 plus 6 is 8, and it's a 888, 888. For me, the Lionsgate event I call this as a new year. I live my new year by the Lionsgate. And that's why I love celebrating this. I love connecting to this because so much is gonna happen. And so is this year. This year, as I promised Twin Flames and all of the other souls who wish to join, we have a full online day event. You can join only one session if you wish to, but we have a full day, meaning of you can start from morning and end in the evening. Or if you cannot start exactly on the morning, we will send you the recording that you can continue despite your time zone. And why is that? Because I know that many of you cannot always join the retreats in person. It costs sometimes more money than we can, or we don't have the holidays, or we don't have the opportunities to come. And I find it that doing it on your own home sometimes can be, I'm not going to say more powerful because I don't like comparing anything, but it can give you the exact same feeling and the acceleration on your journey. And the Lionsgate is exactly what we call is an acceleration of your energy. The past, now let me think about it. We are 2026, so let's say past 4 years. The Lionsgate has been for me the portal where I know that I'm going to be present, I'm going to connect, and I am going to be here. So, and this year I offer the same way. So those of you who would like to join our Lionsgate event, the tickets are out there right now, twinflameawakeningjourney.com. There are limited amount of tickets just for the fact that Zoom cannot hold we cannot have unlimited amount of people. So I would recommend you to get your ticket as soon as possible, because only thing is this year that I cannot make a second event on top of that we did on the previous years, just because of we have the full day. You will see the program, everything is on there, but I just want to briefly, before I'm going to dive into what are the tickets and what you can do, and I'll just explain them briefly as well because there were many questions. But one thing I want to say that over this 4 years time, when I have been connecting to that time, to this energy, and last year I also received some messages that, oh, it's hyped up, it's not real, Sirius is actually with the planetary already there and things like that. Yes, the truth is the portal already opened in the end of June, beginning of July. The Sirius already moved at that time, and the peak is going to be even a little bit after the time of Lionsgate. So this is the truth. But for me, I believe that number one, numerology is there, 888, and why not to celebrate it? I'm not going to say that you can't do this a day before or day after or week before or week after. We see this on the Italy retreat, those who came, how their timelines are shifting, changing, accelerating so quickly that they cannot even grasp upon why is it happening to them. But again, the energies were there and it's happening. And the same thing is from the previous years. I just noticed who was buying the tickets. And it was very funny that even though 4 years ago, our group calls, our situations were very, very different than we have them today, The people who've been coming every year were the first ones who were buying the tickets because they have seen how the life has improved from this energy. So they were the first ones, even 4 years ago, who were very, very first ones in our workshops. We didn't have workshops, we were just talking and had a community. From this talking community, they were the first ones who were just, and I was thinking, that's interesting that they don't always come to all the sessions and things like that, and they have moved on. But Lionsgate is still something for them that I know there is a magic with it. So if you would like to join us, you're more than welcome. I'm going to get back to all the tickets, all of this at the end of the podcast, because I would like to today share about what is the Lionsgate and why does it matter so much on a twin flame journey? What's the difference? I remember when I had that very strong dark night of the soul, and I will walk you through for the understanding that when I first came to this journey, I had no idea, literally no idea about numerology, Lionsgate, planetaries, and energies, nothing. I knew nothing, literally. And I remember that August, so I went into so-called separation with my twin on the mid of May. I think it was 13th of May or something along the lines. I don't remember now exact date. And from there on, the June was very hard. July was already that just broke me into pieces. And then I remember the August that it was so hard. I couldn't, by that time I had not eaten. I didn't sleep. Only thing that was keeping me alive was that I will work harder. I will keep myself busy. I will be always active, 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 because the moment I know that I will stop, I will collapse. And this is actually the truth that also happened. Meaning of that I was trying to control that from the mind. I was trying to do all of the mind things, even though, yes, by that time I've heard many sources were saying, you have to go within, you have to meditate, you have to look into this. And I understood this from a mind level, but I couldn't embody this. I was my system was so alert, and of course, the system at that time was only looking for that person, wanting to be with that person. So I tried to meditate, but my meditations were very subtle. They weren't really deep because of the moment I was meditating, the next moment I was checking my phone already. After that, like I said, I didn't eat, I didn't sleep. So it was over 30 days when I couldn't do anything. I've said that before on the Lionsgate episodes that my only saver was exactly keeping myself busy and then watching Friends. All night, the Friends were running background for me because I woke up in every, I think, 10 minutes. Even though I went to sleep, I woke up again. I went to sleep, I woke up again. I had no sleep. So now how do I know that the Lionsgate is something special for twin flames and how does that work for it? Well, I have my theory, which I'm going to get into very quickly, but I also explain my side of the story. At that moment, I was fighting and resisting so much that I remember at one point I couldn't get up anymore. I was so weak. My body had completely shut down and I couldn't anymore. I thought, will this madness ever stop? Because what is this thing? Why I'm feeling this way, why I can't sleep, why I can't eat, why I cannot be so-called normal. And I remember on that time, I lifted up my hands to the God and I said, I cannot. And at that time, I didn't know anything about Lionsgate or 888. I might have seen some posts here and there, but honestly, none of this resonated. Like I didn't ever stick into that. That's why I'm a believer that when you're listening, what you're listening right now, or when you're seeing something, is because you are ready to receive it. You are there. Because of if you would have shown me this podcast or even anything else 5 years ago, I would have said, yeah, okay, another whatever. I don't believe in it. So I remember that I lifted up my hands and I said, I cannot do this anymore. Whatever, and I surrendered into God in a way that I was completely defeated. I know that I was completely defeated. And so, how do I know that it was a Lionsgate at that time? Like, how do I remember? Because my daughter has a birthday right after the Lionsgate. So I remember that day very, very well because I was talking to God. I was talking to the source. I was done. And when on that day I defeated, everything started to shift and change. Everything. So, meaning of that 8th of August was the surrendering point, was the time where I gave in, I couldn't do it anymore. And then on 21st of August, after all of that silence, my twin wrote to me back and we started communicating. So it took, what, it's 3 weeks, 2 weeks time, and mm, everything started to shift and change. Everything in my life. I went through the portal that changed my life completely. From there on, I moved away from the country that I used to love, that I used to call my home. And all of a sudden, the soul said, no, your new country is there. There you're going to belong. That's where you're going to go. My friends, my everything around me, all of my clothes, all of my things disappeared from my life. Like I went through the new part. And I'm forever thankful for this. And then, of course, on that year, I still didn't know anything about Lionsgate. I had no idea that these things exist. I never followed them. So, if you are wondering why today I'm so passionate about it, while 4 years ago I had pretty much no idea, then there is a reason for that because from there on, everything changed. I started to realize how connected we are to the universe, how connected we are for the energies. And everything that was planted on my journey was planted there because of, like I said, we are the energetic beings. And of course, now over the years, we've been celebrating Lionsgate online, meaning of we have either the Kundalini activations. Now we have 3 years in a row, which were extremely, extremely powerful. And this year, I've decided that I'll do the full day retreat from your own home. If you can't join all the sessions and you have a pass, we send you the recording that you can continue doing right after from the live, but I would highly recommend you to join the live sessions. So now, uh, why I talk about it so much, like, on Twin Flame Journey, they say to you very often that you have to surrender, but surrender will never happen from the mind. The more you're trying to do the things from the mind and surrender from the mind, the less it's going to happen. Mind is surrendering doesn't mean that I don't care. It's not, I will move on. I'll do this way. This is not surrendering. Surrendering is into a currency and into an energy that will bring you where you're supposed to go and where you have to go. So the Lionsgate portal is going to amplify everything you are broadcasting. And that's also another reason why I do the workshop or this year. And I'm going to just put a little clause over here. I'm not talking this because you have to join the sessions. That's not an idea for me. I have always said that I believe and trust Kundalini and I trust the energy that everyone who has to end up on, let's say, my workshops will end up over there. Some of you will end up somewhere else. Some of you have maybe your own ritual, your own thing. None of this has to happen because of I talk here. I'll just share what I do, and maybe that resonates, and maybe you want to join, and maybe you feel, aha, this is my sign. This is what I was looking for. Here you go. So I believe in sharing. I believe in free will. I believe that when we trust our soul, we are going to be put into the right place. That's what happens on the twin flame journey. But I have said to you as well that over these years now, I really celebrate the 8-8 portal. It's my day. Like for some people, like we say that the new year is coming, everybody is eating, all of that. For me on 888, I make sure that my energy is in the highest frequency and highest timeline I want to receive. And it's very incredible how I have seen this reflecting back in my life. Like, say, we can start with the community we have here, the people who are listening to this podcast. Each year, more amazing, wonderful people are arriving onto this podcast. It's every year more and more beautiful people are coming. I am so blessed that this energy brings into a connection with another beautiful soul. This is a gift. I have, I don't want to say that I have, but our community is incredible, and the people who I have met are absolutely wonderful. And I do believe that it has a connection with a Lionsgate, where my frequency is saying, I would like to meet people with an open hearts, with a kindness, with love, with a presence, and I've met all of them. That's one of the thing. Another thing is the same on the workshops and retreats, how I have seen people that I could never meet otherwise, and now I have a chance to sit on the same table with them, eat the food with them, laugh, cry, hug, kiss, all of that. It's wonderful. Then on the other hand, in my own business, maybe not, maybe I would, like, how do I say, my work where I am every day, we have the best clients, we have the best outcomes. So a lot is expanding from it. And you can call it coincidence, but I believe that it has something to do with the energy. Because before I didn't practice, none of this happened. Maybe it's a coincidence, but I really rarely believe in coincidences. I tell you one funny story at the end of the podcast, which just happened to us when we traveled, because I don't believe in coincidences, and so do you. You don't believe. You are not here by coincidence. So now, what is the thing between twin flames and Lionsgate? Why is this connected? We know that the Lionsgate is directly connected to the Sirius. And I've said that on my previous episodes as well, that I believe that we twin flames are from the planetary system of Sirius A and Sirius B, meaning of that our souls have some sort of a knowledge or some sort of an energy from there. And why is that? Uh, I don't have actually proof of it, but from the very beginning, I always said that twin flames carry a very specific energy. I have met people all over the world who are doctors, who are psychologists, who are therapists, who are singers, who are, I don't know, let's say just accountants. No, why do I say just? But I mean accountants. However, and I can meet them randomly in a random place. And all of a sudden they would tell me, do you know anything about twin flames? Do you know that I had a twin flame? And I'm sitting there thinking, that's why I felt drawn to that person. That's why I knew that there is something. So energetically, I can feel about the twin flames. And a lot of people who've been on the retreats can also distinguish the difference between, let's say, a twin flame or not, because there is a frequency that is there. And so now what happens is that every year, so between, it's kind of like a July 26th to August 12th, but I can say it opens already a little bit before. The Earth aligns with the Sun in Leo, and Sirius is there. So the brightest star in our entire sky. Long back ago, long back ago, the Egyptians, they were honoring this. They lived according to this. So now what's very interesting as well energetically is, and sorry that I skip, Egyptians used to be like, during the time they announced the flooding of the Nile, the return of life itself, rebirth, abundance, and the great renewal. The more I've been studying the Bibles, the ancient scriptures, all of that, the more I am seeing, oh my God, we have all of that knowledge. Just for a moment, we got wiped out of it. So I come back to the serious part of it. Why do I believe that so-called twin flames are from that planetary? Like I said, you remember something in that person. Like you have this, oh, I know you, or I feel drawn to you. There is something between us. So now what happens during the Lionsgate, of course, that the Sirius moves behind the sun. So it is invisible in the night sky. The sun is is now amplifying from the Sirius to our planet Earth. And again, those who don't believe me, you don't have to believe me, but I just bring you in a little bit of a thought. Sirius is behind the sun and sun is bursting towards our Earth. You know what happens when the Schumann resonance spikes like crazy? Where it comes from? The sun sends the plasma from the universe, from the universe to ours, and often the Earth goes electromagnetic field goes completely out of control. So now the Sirius, who is the brightest star in the sky, is behind the sun, so it's magnifying the sun with it. But you cannot see it, but it's the most intimate with us. That's why I've heard over and over and over again where people say that their life has changed after Lionsgate. I stop here for a moment again of saying, if you would have told me this story 5 years ago, only 5 years ago, I would have said, yeah. Okay, where is it? Okay, all right. Now, when I have looked into my own life, when I practice this, how much magic happens. And I want to go back to and clarify one other thing. You might be thinking there, yeah, but what's the abundance? What's the point of why you want to give an abundance? I want my twin flame back into this life. What's the point of an abundance? Why do I need to have an abundance in life? I have money. I might feel this. And what do you care about my abundance? Number one is that abundance is a frequency. It's not about directly connected to the money, or manifestation is the same thing. That it doesn't mean, like, sometimes these words are very overused and our vocabulary I cannot find a different wordings for the thing. But abundance is a life where you literally wake up every day and you feel you have it all. Even, let's say, and it now sounds like, oh, wait a minute, how does that work? But this is where you want to live. This is the state you want to live. Because Twin Flame Journey shows us about the love, where we are lacking out of love, meaning of we're going to crave for this other person like crazy. Who was the crazy one? Me. Absolutely crazy. So I know what this journey takes. I know from bits and pieces of this journey. But I also know when you are in the frequency of abundance, you can wake up in the morning and, let's say, the friend who's going to call you, or the people you're going to meet in the shop, or the people you're going to meet in your business or in your things, are all of the part of your abundance. So you no longer live in a world where you think, oh, look at this is happening to me. My life, I don't have this, I don't have this. You don't focus anymore on the things you do not have. You automatically focus on the things what you have. And another day I was walking with my dog, and something, because on that day my dog did something not so nice. And we had a conflict with another person from that. She was attacking me. She was telling to me how this and this. And I am very solution oriented. I don't like arguments. I don't stay in this very long. I say, hey, listen, what could be the solution? But most of us are not designed to have a solution. We are designed to have a way of blaming, judging, and all of this, which is not going to help anybody. The world we see is not helping. So now, this is also one of the reasons why I care about other people's abundance. Because if another person feels abundant in their life, that is also going to make abundance all around us. So we have less conflicts, we have less competition, we have less feelings of, I wish that this person will not do so well because I want to do better. I want to, like, less of that, because we are living in a world of abundance. And that's something I always had it with me, that I believe of abundance. I don't believe in that I have to hold the people and tell, oh, like, I am the better, I am this, look at me, I am the no, not at all. I have met the most amazing people on this journey, no doubt in that. And thanks to all of the abundance of what you have and I have, and we share together. So what I want to go back to is that I have my whole life a little bit of a trust that everything that I have is the best already, the best of the best of the best. And because universe has decided that this time this is the best. This moment will never come back. And so I'm going to enjoy it. Because tomorrow I might not have that. Let's just bring a very simple example that, let's say, um, you don't have water today. You had yesterday, but today you don't have it. Yesterday you were abundant, but you didn't even notice that you are abundant. So this is another way of realizing how much magic you already have. And I'm a believer of these energies, what we are working with are bringing us closer to realize, oh my God, I have so much. And as the saying goes, where the energy flows, the energy expands. So meaning of that, where is your attention, the energy flows into that and the energy will expand there. That's another reason why I'm so glad that we have such a beautiful community who shows up for the workshops, who meditates, who connects, because each person helps another person. So thank you for that. So that's now going back to the fact of thinking, okay, so what do you care about an abundance like for other people? And I've said that many times. The success of my life has been previously that all of the businesses that I have worked with, I made them successful. And when people ask me that, oh, how does this, they find you or everything, I say, because I made them successful. So there is no question of that. So, and the same with my friends. I always make sure that my friends and the people around me who deserve will have the best opportunities. Like, for example, the girl who started working for us on the retreats as a photographer. Since she's been working on as a photographer on our retreats, her bookings, her opportunities have tripled. Call it a coincidence. She's a very hardworking woman, and that's why I respect and love her. But also the network, the connection, the abundance of seeing every opportunity. So that's why I do that. I love seeing other people thriving in life. I don't know what weird thing I have this with me, but I love it. And last year I had many times where people just booked a call with me that they could tell me how their life is growing and their magic. That's an abundance too. So that's the reason I do that. And now while you were thinking what the abundance and twin flames have in common, it's the energy, the frequency. When you feel abundant love within you, when you feel you are unstoppable, the same way like you felt when you met your twin first, you are going to attract it the same way. Oh, by the way, I wanted to say that those of you who are listening, if you want to be part of the survey, let's say, who are the biggest runners, or how long are the separations, or what is our statistics overall, now on my website, twinflameawakeningjourney.com, you can fill the survey. And later on, of course, I will make a couple of social media posts about it, telling you what are the stats. But you will find them. You have to scroll down from the first page, and you can fill that up as well if you are interested. So now let me go back to this year. Why I do this again, the big retreat, online retreat. Number one, I do this because something inside of me said it's time for that. It's wonderful that we get to come to physically, but you know, in physically we can have maximum 18 people. Luckily, because of the Zoom, because of all of that, we can have host last more. Last year, I know that I think I'm going to be very honest, I'm not very good at counting all the numbers because for me the numbers doesn't matter. But I think we were somewhere like the 3 or 4 sessions that we had, 130 to 140 people. I'm gonna repeat just here, those of you who would really like to be part of this year's Lionsgate. The Zoom has a limitation how many people we can have. So get your ticket before that, not that in the last moment where I have to tell you, unfortunately, that there is no way for us to change that because we have a limited amount how many people we can stream at a time together. And as I said, at the end, I will explain about the tickets and the opportunities to make it clear. So now Why is it this year the Lionsgate is so special? As I said, 888. So it is triple eight gateway. And in numerology, as we know, it is the heaven and earth meeting, like the yin and yang meeting. It's alignment. This year word is alignment, and that word has been alignment for a very long time. We've been practicing in our workshops a lot of aligning all of the energies. And what is also very special this year, there's going to be a solar eclipse in Leo with Jupiter, the greatest amplifier, and it's moving through Leo. And eclipse is where everything shifts. So that's why I'm a bit crazy how much I talk about it, and I'm so passionate about it. And I'm like, my whole life is how we're putting the programs together and the videos we are making and all of this. I'm like, I don't even know. My soul is so excited. I've, what's going to come from here? I have no idea. But in this year, it's really on the highest frequency, and the eclipse seals it. So those who are coming, you will see. And whatever you're going to anchor during this portal, the eclipse will lock it in. So that's why I say it's just not a date, it's a doorway. And that's why for the VIPs, you have 2 sessions. You have the Lionsgate, and then we're gonna gather after, and we have the support for the eclipse. But we get all into that in a minute. So, as I said to you that, so why for twin flames? What's the point? Number one, of course, I had my own personal story with that, because that portal finally made me to surrender. And now each year I have seen how this portal brings in the highest timeline the best people. I tell you, none of these retreats, none of these workshops, none of these calls, none of this would ever have happened if that timeline where I and you stepped in together had changed and shifted. My I until today, I don't know how long we've been on doing this podcast, but every day and every night when I go to bed, I thank each one of you. Each one of you, because you are so deeply in my heart. Twin flames are beautiful souls. Whether we come from the Sirius or not, I cannot prove that, but this is what my soul says. We have a Sirius energy. So, number one is that your mirror will get cleaner. So, your twin flame collection is a mirror, and you know this. And when we have the very high frequency windows, whatever is unhealed between you will come out. And if the old wounds are coming up right now and it triggers you, you thought you cleared it and suddenly they're back, this is not that something is wrong. It shows that the portal is shifting, and whatever you need to rise, it will release through this gate. I mentioned that before, that for me was the surrender was 888, 88 2022, when I had no idea Lionsgate. I didn't celebrate any Lionsgate, but my body naturally surrendered. It was so painful and it was so hard that I still cannot explain this until today. But it happened naturally because the energy was pulling me into that portal. It was pulling me like crazy. And I was resisting. I was resisting. I was resisting. I was like, no, I can do this. I can control myself. And then I surrender. I lifted up my hands and I said, God, please, God, help me. God, help me. I cannot anymore. I'm going to die. And 2 weeks later, my twin was back in my life. 3 months later, I arrived to this island here, which I call my soul home. I just recently went back to the country where all of this happened, and I realized, yes, that was just my ego's home. But oh my God, this island is my soul. The first thing when I arrived back to the island, I went by the sea and I was listening to the waves and I said, welcome home. Welcome home. And that's the reason also in November when we have our retreat, the retreat emails were sent out. Those who didn't get it, I'll talk about the retreat at the end as well. Just let me know. uh, so these are the things. So another thing is that the channel comes open, and I guarantee you, those who are coming on this event, which I'm talking about it right now, you will feel such a heightened energy that you have never felt in your life before. No doubt in that. And And so meaning of that exactly that everything intensifies, like gets very, very strong during this time, and telepathy will get very strong. Your dreams will get very strong. You will receive sudden messages after a month of silence. Last year, when we did the Lionsgate, I don't remember. I posted them also, but I don't know if I saved them somewhere on our Instagram stories. There were at least 10, 15 people who said, my twin messaged me right when we were on the sessions. I haven't heard from them this time, and right now it came back. So I'm not making this up. It really happens because of the energy is so amplified, and it talks together, and it will make more sense. And here is where, of course, what your logical mind will laugh for a moment. So I'll just tell you that there is a proof of that. Um, as we know, your heart generates the largest electromagnetic field in your body. And when you are in a high frequency in the portal, your heart field is a first receiver. And because you and your twin are sharing the energetic blueprint, whatever you anchor, your field will ripple directly into shared field between you. That's why it's not an accident that so many of you are hearing from each other. Not an accident at all. And I want to just now really say one another very, very deep thing. It's not 8-8 is not about manifesting them or manifesting anybody. It's not about that. That's why I don't use on that day the word of we are going to manifest, and I use the word abundance, because I work with a frequency and with an energy. Because you don't need to chase your twin during this portal. You just need to become an open gate that the universe happens within you, and then the 3D catches up. And it always does, has no choice. Frequency leads, and everything follows from there. And Leo season, Sirius, and the sun are in the most radiant place. And this is a divine masculine energy at its finest. So many of us have also wounds around the masculine, and this is the portal to invitation to receive the healthy divine masculine within yourself and then without. So it's all within. Again, I'm going to say you don't have to believe me what I am talking here. I'll just share my own path, my own stories, my things that happen. For you, you make your own judgment. You make your own journey. You make what matters to your heart and matters to your soul. So now I just want to go one more thing about the abundance. And a lot of people can feel that, yeah, but there is a ticket and there is a thing, and what is the abundance and blah, blah, blah. I'm a believer that your abundance is my abundance and my abundance is your abundance. It's just my belief. I'm not asking anybody else to believe what I believe. And this year is the same thing, that ideally I would have done it for free, meaning or for a very small fee, because I believe in energy exchange. But since we have a very big project in place, your submitting your abundance into that helps us to make that project into a real life. And I've said that every one of you who have purchased a ticket for this a magical event and shows up for it, you will have definitely one free night, one day when it's ready. So I will keep the list of every one of you who has purchased a ticket, who has supported. As I said, your abundance is my abundance, and my abundance is your abundance. That's why even on Twin Flame Journey, where we would think of that I would like to have my twin back, it's the same for me. I would always would like that people would have their love in their life. There is nothing more beautiful than sharing the love within the person you love with. But I also want to bring you back to it, that if you believe that today you are in the most abundant place of your life, or maybe you don't believe in that, but that podcast here is a reminder for you that, wait a minute, everything that I have in my life are in the best way possible. And I can only go and grow from here even better and better and better. So, better relationships, better experiences, better dreams come true, and all of this. I've said that many times before that I never believed in any of the energies. I didn't believe on the planetaries. I didn't believe on any of these things until they happened to me. And until I started practicing, and then I realized, oh, wait a minute, it's quite simple. It's not that hard. And my journey completely changed and shifted. I promised to you that I will tell a little funny story of no coincidences. And that's why I believe that if you are listening to this podcast, you're already activated with the energy of abundance. That's why you're listening to here, because of the universe is now reflecting to you of your state and telling, but you are abundant. That's why you're hearing this. That's why you're here. You wouldn't have ended up here on this podcast ever, but here you are. And twin flames are very directly connected to the actually of getting you into your higher self, living from the place of heart. And again, I want to just mention that abundance does not mean directly money. We often think that, but I don't have, let's say, money. But think for a moment everything what you have. I want to, before I go into this, I promised myself I made a note here, but I forgot about it now. The Sirius and Kundalini. So why do I use the Kundalini energy? And there is also a very funny thing. The very second year, I remember when, so our first year, I was surrendered. I surrendered. I went through the portal. I thought I'm going to die. Then everything changed in my life. And the year after, I had already the podcast. We had our thing. And I remember that I automatically started working with energy. Like I felt the energy around me. My hands were moving. I felt the connection. I knew what I was doing. And because of again, I was in the next awareness and next session. So that's why from there on, the year later, I went to the Kundalini training and so on and so on. So let me just tell you a few things about Sirius and Kundalini energy. You might not know because it doesn't feel like it has any connection. But the Egyptians, for example, associated Sirius with Isis, the Great Mother, the initiator into the mysteries. And the Mali people, they also had a Sirius star system for centuries, for modern telescopes and everything. Everything was done according to the Sirius. And when the Sirius comes, it happens. So now what it is that I've spoken a lot about Kundalini because I work with this energy and I believe in it. We know it's at the base of your spine and it's waiting for the right frequency to awaken and rise. And the right frequency was also your twin. It was the right frequency to awaken. But just to remind you, I always say that awakening is not something you force. It's always something you receive. I had a conversation with another day with a person who said that why, let's say, some people are like this or this and that, and maybe they cannot hold the Kundalini. And I said, no, Kundalini will not awaken inside of the person who is not ready for it. Whatever are the other things over there, I feel that sometimes there's a lot of misinformation around that. But Kundalini will not awaken. We can do millions, I can do millions of activations. And if the person is not ready, nothing's going to happen. Nothing. That's it. And that is also something we need to agree with. And that's why the Lionsgate is the highest frequency of light of the year. Comes through the sun, stays in Leo, because Leo is the sign that is ruled by the heart. I love you, all my Leos. Thank you so much. You are so beautiful. The way you love me, the way you are connected to me. And the heart is a very center of the Kundalini that must pass through on its own way up. Do you know that the heart and your lower chakras are always separated by what? Your rib cage. That's why many of the times our hearts are not opening because the rib cage is protecting it. So you are in the best frequency on that time to open up. And this is why also during the Lionsgate, even if you are not joining anything what I talk here right now, no need to. So many people will experience spontaneous energy movement, heat up in the spine, tingling in the ground, waves and emotions releasing from the body. And the current is going to, like, this is why it's going to happen. And I know that happened to me. And I'm going to be very honest. I would not share any of these things if it would have never happened. Back then, I was aware of it. Did I understand it? No, not at all. I had no idea of Lionsgate, of Sirius energies. I was just thinking when this madness is gonna end. So what I'm trying to tell you is that it's more connected to Twin Flames and Lionsgate than you think of. Because like I said, I have a feeling that we Twin Flames have a strong connection with the Sirius. And of course, another thing is if you're not on a Twin Flame journey, same thing, that this is the portal where you allow yourself to awaken, allow yourself to do the timeline jump, meaning of that, like I explained, what's in my life at this moment. And of course, as I said, your abundance is my abundance and my abundance is your abundance. Meaning of that if you support, there is something that we can bring into a real life and something that I've been dreaming of for quite some time. Now, let me go through a few things just to say we had a workshop over here today, which you can do the replay. It's a very powerful one, and you can do that every day until up to the Lionsgate. Those who would like to join the Lionsgate this year for the online, as I said, we have different packages. We have a ticket for only one single session. We have a ticket for a full day pass, and we have a VIP ticket. You get to choose which one works the best. VIPs are limited, and also the other ones are, but there are more of them than VIP tickets. You get yours whenever you feel like, or you will do your practice by yourself. Another thing about our Cyprus retreat, this will be our 7th retreat this year. And we have exactly one place available for a private bedroom and 2 places for the shared bedroom. So if that is calling you, please sign up as soon as possible. Now, as I will announce something about it in that time, we live and we give this year a special way of joining the retreat, that either you join without an accommodation and you find your own place where you can sleep, where you can be, where you can find your own moment, because maybe you don't like to share the house with others. Although I'm gonna say that there's nothing more beautiful than becoming a one family, who will support you and ground you and connect to you while you're going through that. This is a very, like every one of the retreats we have, they have become friends, families, soulmates for one another. Like I said, we're sharing a similar vibration and energy. And then we also have a day pass, so you can join only for certain practices you want to do, which of course meaning of that you might miss out some of the celebration parts or things like this, but it's totally up to you. We have beautiful program put together, and it happens this year in November 7th to 14th. You will make your own call, you will make your own decision. I believe that if Kundalini speaks to you, you know where you have to be, and your twin flame is waiting you, because these are life-changing retreats, as we had from now recently from Italy as well. Anyways, this is what I wanted to talk today about it, that why this portal is very significant for twin flames. Again, you don't have to believe me. I'm not here to convince anybody. I live and embody for myself this way. But I am very glad that already so many of you are going to join us for the Lionsgate portal, because honestly, there is nothing more powerful than doing things collectively and amplifying it. So thank you for that. Thank you for each one of you. And I really briefly want to say thank you for each one of the person who helped us to organize the Italy retreat, who were participating, who were doing everything. It was such an honor to meet every one of you, and also every single soul who put their heart into that. So thank you. Thank you for being here, and I see you for the next one, where we're gonna dive into
I feel in the space between every heartbeat, every dream. I call in, I already am. Gold in my spirit, gold in my hands. Mirror soul, I see you clear. Separation disappears. Soft building open, open, let it in. The portal glows beneath my skin. Everything I pray to be is already inside of me. Under the Lionsgate we rise, abundance pouring from the skies. 888, a golden stream. You and I, the same soul's dream. Love is the frequent stream, flowing infinity. What I call in, I already am. Gold in my spirit, gold in my hands. Mirror soul, I see you clear. Separation disappears. Open, open, let it in. The portal glows beneath my skin. Everything I pray to be is already inside me. Under the